So welcome to the ReCAM tutorial, and this is a fairly simple tool but very powerful, because as you can see we have a 360 video here, but sometimes we want to take a small part of it and make a nice 2D video, and there are very few tools to do that on the desktop that can do that well. And here we can do it very fast, very easily with all the information necessary saved with the file. So we've got a timeline open here. And this is frame 161. Well, so he's about to say something, and this is a countdown, and then she's going to start running. Let's say we want to try and capture what happens here as she runs out of the frame. Okay, so what we can do is we're going to create a ReCAM version of this as a separate video that we can import and we can play on our desktop. Exactly the right sort of size that we need. So on your left controller, you'll see that we have this option under the camera icon. We have ReCAM. So if we click on that, we'll get this window, which we can grab and move using the raycast from the right controller and the grip. And we can move it in and out as best we want, but that doesn't do the zooming. That just gets it closer or nearer to us. But we have a zoom icon here that allows us to zoom in, for example. That's a bit too close, so if we move out a bit, we should be able to get pretty much what happens, where they look as she runs out of the frame. And if we could play a little bit, and when we step forward, you'll see there he's moving both inside this little video and he's moving outside. And that's at frame 163. So if we just play and hear that,
2, 1, go.
and she runs out the frame. And then they start looking here. So what I want to do is go back to about 161, which is roughly coming up. He's about to say it here, I think. Go back a few frames, we see we're just rewinding slowly, one frame at a time. And we're waiting for him to say, we'll just go back a little bit more. They're not looking at him, but he's set up what's going to happen. This is a start frame. We'll click that. It's saying 151. We'll play it to where we want to finish.
3, 2, 1, go.
And then when they go to look at the blocks, and they look away. Okay, so we have a little clip there, and we do end frame. So we've got a start frame of 151 and an end frame of 325. And we could adjust that by playing a little more, going back and resetting those. Once we're satisfied, we've got a good start frame and a good end frame, we're going to hit record, and we're going to see what happens. So let's just hit record.
3, 2, 1, go.
What's going to happen is going to generate that video there. I'll just move this one out of the way. And now we have our video clip. And I can play that independently of the master. This is an unsynced 2D video, not a synced. It's not synced to this. It's a separate video. I can zoom in and out, and I can control the audio. If I just click and I press play on my right controller, we'll be able to play that.
3, 2, 1, go.
Countdown, she runs, they look, and then
3, 2, 1,
that's it. We've got that clip. It's totally independent. It's got a date and a time, and it's put into a folder. So we have, I think it's in a folder in the import, in the project. Under the images, it's called, it might not be in a folder, but it's in a special folder called exported videos. And we can play that. We can't do anything else anymore. It's now fixed video. It's saved onto disk so that we can use that for whatever purpose we want. We've made a nice little video clip of something that was happening there that we can bring up.
3, 2, 1, go.
And it's, of course, we can use these audio controls and mute, etc. up here. But basically, and we can scrub on this as well to scrub through. So if I just close that, we can just try and show you. I'll just close the ReCAM here as well. I'll just try and show you in the import menu where that might be. And in the import menu, we have the 360, the synced. But if you look at unsynced exported, that is the video we just made. And there is a preview of it. And if we say accept, there we have it again, and we can play.
3, 2, 1, go.
So that video and any other videos we make are all accessible here. We can see what they are. We could actually open up another version of this, so we can jump. This one's at the beginning and this one's halfway through, so we can have multiple copies open. So that means we can generate a nice 2D video shot of a small part of the video anywhere in the scene, save it to disk, bring it up again, and have a series of clips. You can rename them as well if you want on the disk. You can't rename them inside AVA360VR, but you could rename them to give them better names. But we have a nice time code stamp, so we know precisely when it was made. Okay. And as far as I remember, then I think it also has the frame numbers in the actual file. This is the folder number, but I can't quite remember if that's true. Okay, that's the basic use of this tool. We just close these ones. Now let's just say we want to go back a little to where she's going to run again. And I'll just open up the ReCAM again. This is also a mobile camera. So notice it doesn't capture windows, it's only capturing the video. What we'll try and do is actually pan with her. So we've still got the same start frame and end frame here as we had before. We're going to do record, and I'm going to use this as a mobile camera and see what happens. So say record. You grab it and then run, move with it as she runs. And there's the video there. It appears very quickly. And that video there, if we play it, it now has a panning shot. So it gets a little bit of noise because of the nature of trying to capture video like this. But still very interesting and very good quality up to about here when it starts to disintegrate. That could be to do with timing. A little bit not such good quality there at the end. But that's a separate video, and if we went back, if I close these ones and we went back to the import menu, and there we have the second one there. That's the one that does the pan, and there we have the first one, which has no pan. Okay, so, and we could have reloaded that second one as well. So that means this camera is not static, it's movable, but it may cause some distortion as it's trying to both play the Master 360 and track a clip of the video. Depends on how powerful your computer is. Okay, that's a good example of how to use the ReCAM. You could try it yourself in the Lego demo project. Just load up a 360, and you could try one of the other 360 cameras in that project, and try a ReCAM, a static ReCAM or a mobile ReCAM, to get a new camera view of your 360.